Crew educator, and I'm here today with you guys from Great Clips to share a little bit about product knowledge and American Crew's education and our styling techniques that we have evolved throughout the years. So again, my name is Victor Hugo. I'm 37 years old. I've been educating with American Crew for the last 5 years. And one of the things I have to say about my career and the fusion of American Crew's education and products, it brought my education and my game to the next level. Especially here behind the chair, working behind the chair. I'm not only a barber, I'm also a barbershop owner, and I'm an influencer for 3 different brands. One of the things that I love about American Crew and what really helped me was understanding how to fuse scissor work with clipper work, because I grew up an urban barber. So my first thing growing up learning was really sharp skin type fades, really sharp beard work, but not a lot of styling and not a lot of like scissor work for longer hair. That was what was missing for me in my earlier careers of barbering. When I found American Crew, I was able to see that American Crew had an arsenal of products that tackled any single hairstyle or hair type, textures, and beard products, shampoo products. It was a full line. When I first started barbering, I used to see the barbershop, and every barber station, it had a gel from this brand, a pomade from that brand, a beard product from another brand, and it just looked messy. It looked crazy, and it didn't look professional. I knew that going into the barber game very early. So I was like, where is the product brand that has everything that I'm gonna need for anybody who walks through these doors at our barbershop? And when we think about American barbering, we think about all hair types, all hair textures, all hair styles, long, short, curly, straight. So there had to be a product line that helped me tackle all that. And also every single product behind the styling to be able to get these images and hairstyles on customers that they were bringing to me on their phone. So that was the main thing that brought me to American Crew and made me such a big fan, was the versatility I was able to get as a barber and the amount of money I'm able to make now because of the versatility. When you walk into barbershops, a lot of barbershops are afraid of cutting longer hair. When guys go to salons, the stylist might be afraid of doing fades. Barbering now needs to be fused together, and this is where American Crew kind of puts it together with the styling aspect, education, and the product knowledge. So that's a little bit about me and my journey in barbering, growing a barber shop with barbers in it, and showing them and guiding them the correct way to execute these hairstyles that men want nowadays. So moving on to the haircut, that was a little bit about me. I'm going to demo right now one of haircuts that's very popular, very trending. And I'm also hitting a demographic that comes into the barbershops a lot. Younger kids, teenagers, high schoolers, middle schoolers, and they want skin type fades, but they also want longer hair on top. So with his haircut, what we're going to do is we're going to leave the top a little longer, but texturize it. I want to give him versatility with his hairstyle. I want him to be able to slick it back, but also when he has no product in it, I want him to have the same kind of fringe that I have. And one of the things that I've noticed with younger kids now, the style that they're loving is a lot of length in the forehead area and almost into the eyes. Buddy, let me ask you something. Would you be upset if I cut the front a little higher than your eyebrows?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, guys, like kids want this little fringe area to be there no matter what. So if they want to style it or their parents want to style it, they'll be able to have a cut that's versatile enough to slick it to the sides or throw it just backwards. Or when they don't want any product in their hair, they kind of just want to shower, get their clothes on and run out to the bus with no product. It'll still look good and it'll give them that textured look in the front without the hair actually getting in the way of their vision while they're at school. So the first thing I'm going to do is explain the haircut, right? What we're going to do is Again, versatility, so the top could go forwards, backwards, or to the sides. But he also wants the mullet kind of look back here. It's not super long, which is awesome. I don't like mullets that get too long like Joe Dirtish. I like more of the modern mullet where there's like 3 to 4 inches in the back, a lot of texture. And I'm going to do this area right here, skin tight faded right up to the parietal ridge. So understanding that, I'm going to start explaining the process with American Crew using products and product knowledge, because these are the things, guys, like I base my salon a lot around education, and the education itself is what sells. You don't need to show the client the product. If you give them the right information of how the finished product is going to look, and then you execute it and show them, they're going to buy the product and they're going to apply it at home. So what I do first is before any haircut, I always shampoo and condition the hair just to bring, especially with long hair, because I want to see the natural fall of the hair. I want to see what direction it goes in, and I want to see the density. I want to feel the skull structure to see what I'm working with, because based on the skull structure is how I'm going to design this haircut. So right now, after I washed and shampooed his hair, I'm going to let him know, I'm like, bro, we're in the Northeast. Right now, it's very cold, very dry. Shampoos need to change in the different seasons. If we're in the summer, you're a little bit more oily, a little bit more putting more product in their hair, more hydration in the skin because of the summer, right? So you won't need a clarifying shampoo or a deep cleansing shampoo. You just need like a daily cleansing shampoo to get, normalize your hair and a little bit of conditioning. Right now in this atmosphere, since it's winter, it's very dry out, a lot of dandruff. I referred my clients to use Daily Deep moisturizing shampoo and the Daily Deep moisturizing conditioner, because right now with the dry atmosphere, they need hydration on their scalp and in their hair. And you advise them, this is going to prevent you from getting flakes, especially if you're wearing a black shirt, you're going out on a date and you rub your hands through your hair. You don't want the dandruff on your shoulders. This is the preventative for that issue to not happen again moving forward. So the shampoo bowl is always one of the best times to start giving your clients education. Reality is we're working with guys, and a lot of guys don't know that they have to treat their skin just as well as females do too. We need a shampoo 2-3 times a week, and we also need a condition after we shampoo every time we shampoo. There's a reason for that, and we need to let them know. You need to rebalance your hair so you could get your ultimate finish and a nice look to be able to achieve good hygiene at all times. So I just shampooed them and conditioned them. I left a little extra conditioner in there because I am going to go through the top and cut a little bit. And if it's wet, it's easier to work with. One of the products that I love to keep the hair really soaked and easy to part, and it's also a great heat protectant when you go and finish the haircut, is the Prep and Prime Tonic. This is awesome to use because, again, it keeps the hair a little more moisturized, and it also acts as a leave-in conditioner. So it's also good as a pre-styler. So right now, I'm going to go through one of the steps is finding the horseshoe that's appropriate for this haircut. So I'm going to do a high horseshoe to connect the top to this side on the mullet. And I'm going to start right at the recession area on the side of his head and separate it and clip it. His hair is very, very thick, guys. So the separation is going to look like this. I'm going to bring the 3 guard right up to here. right above the parietal ridge. Once I bring the 3-guard, I'm going to clipper over comb it, and then I'm going to start from the 0 and blend into that. And once I did that, I'm going to let go of this clip and connect the little bit that's left over into the sides. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure I find the parting on this side as well. So I'm going to, again, look at the recession point where the hairline meets the recession point and do a straight line all the way back. Okay, so I did the horseshoe parting, separated the hair evenly on both sides, making the horseshoe, but it's, again, I'm doing a mullet, so I don't need to do this horseshoe all around the head. I just need to do from the front recession point to where his ear is, because this is where the fade stops, right behind his ear. And this is the other thing, right, with mullets. You want it to look good, straight looking forward. So you don't want a lot of movement unless they're actually asking for it, like right around behind the ears. And this is why I like to section off and stop the fade right behind the ear, because it'll control the weight that's going to be behind the ear and it won't look too crazy. It's going to look professional in the front, party in the back. That's the basis of the mullet. So let's pump them up. Guys, always use this lever on your barber chair. Very important. You want to be as ergonomic as possible at all times so you could be efficient and you have a long career cutting hair. I see a lot of barbers that want to bend down. They're going like this to cut, always back straight. And if you need to get a little lower, then just open your legs, straddle a little bit, and make sure you're cutting at eye level. So what I'm going to do now, grab the 3-guard, go all the way up to right under the parietal ridge with no fear. And again, his hair is so dense and straight that he has the perfect hair to use the clipper over comb technique. So I'll make sure I make this first level really, really evenly. So that's the first level. That's a 3-guard, guys. Now I'm going to do clipper over comb. Awesome. You guys can see. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go at the curvature of his hairline and his recession point and make sure that's round. Remember, we're following the head structure and the skull structure. So right here, since it's round, I'm going to round it just a tiny bit and connect that 3-guard into the phrase, into the flyaways that are above.
So Victor, Cece has a question for you.
Yes.
And she wants to know, is this similar, is a mullet similar to a burst fade?
No, so I mean, it can be, yes, but the burst fade is a little bit more like behind the ear, and you leave more of this dark right here, this area right here. So the blend is essentially like this. This stays dark and this stays dark. In this instance, this is all getting faded. You see what I mean? So the burst fade is literally, it's like a burst of sun from around the ears, but all this stays dark and all this stays dark. It bursts into the fade, if that makes sense. Does that answer her question?
I think so. Thank you.
You're welcome. So again, guys, I'm grabbing the clipper over comb and I could see the length of the 3 and I could see the disconnection of the hair above the 3. So that's where I know I'm safe to cut. And again, following the curvature of his skull to preserve that square shape. I don't want to do the 3 all the way up here because then it's going to end up looking round, and that's not what I want. So I did the 3 right under the parietal ridge so I could preserve that square silhouette when you look at them from the front. So right now, just detailing, finishing, squaring off that top part. Beautiful. All right. So as you guys can see, when you look at him from this side, and it's awesome that we have this white background. Look right here, Pop. You guys are going to see that he's got this straight flush silhouette from the side all the way to the top. So once I'm done with this fade, all I need to do is connect this to this side right here, and we're done. So right now what I'm going to do is, since I started with a 3, that was my first level, I'm going to start with the 1 guard, lever open, and I'm going to glide into that 3 guard, guys. So I'm not leaving a line. Like I said, I'm gliding into that 3 guard, and this is for speed purposes, guys. Not every hair texture can be done this way. Since his hair is so straight, we can pull it off with his hair. But normally you cannot pull that off. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use no guard, lever open, not closed. And if you guys don't know the difference between lever closed and lever open, I'll show you right now. So lever closed means both teeth, the top teeth and the lower tooth, are both at the same point. As I open it, you guys see the top blade extends to make that cut a little longer. And this is what you utilize to blend in between. Normally, to blend in between, let's say if I had a 1 guard on this to blend into the 0, I'd probably click 1, 2, 3 times in between the 1 guard, open, to close it, to fade into that. That's how you fade. Figuring out how many clicks in between the lever it takes to connect each guard to itself. So again, I'm going in with the no guard, lever open. I'm going to start behind the ear right here. His hair is growing backwards. So I'm going to make sure I'm angling my clipper this way to make the hair easily go into those teeth. And again, I'm gliding to not make any hard lines. I want this to be as easy and as quick as possible. Now I'm going to grab my half guard that's in between the 1 and the 0. That's an extra guard you guys might have to get for your clipper set, but it's very important, in my opinion, to get these seamless blades. There's always a half guard, meaning 0.5, and there's also always a 1.5 guard that blends in between the 1 and the 2 guard. So right now I'm going with the half guard to blend from the no guard lever open into the 1. And again, guys, gliding, making sure you're putting yourself in the position for that hair to get pushed through the teeth of this clipper.
So Victor, Char's got a question and she wants to know, let me see if I'm going to make sure I'm asking the right question. Sorry.
Sure.
Hold on. She wants to know, oh my goodness gracious, where'd it go? Is a burst fade the same as a blowout fade?
As a blowout fade? No.
No.
So a blowout is, there's so many differences between the words, how they call haircuts. So a burst fade, again, is from like right behind the middle of the ear to right in front of the ear, where this arch is going to be sharp and dark. This right here is going to be faded. A blowout or a taper, and this is crazy because a taper is a lot. A taper could be a fade because taper essentially means blending from high to low. That's a taper. But a blowout is literally just this right here where the temple area is. versus a burst fade that's actually going around the ear. So a blowout would be this right here and this right here, just like it could be called a taper too. But a burst fade is always from right around the beginning of the ear around, and you're gonna have this edge dark, everything around here, and this dark, the fade is a circle right around the top of the ear.
Got it. So what is your haircut?
Mine is a mullet too. You see? But
There
it's
you
not a
go.
mullet. This is what I'm doing to him now.
Awesome.
Okay.
It's a mullet. It's a type of mullet, you guys.
Yes. Do you got does that answer your question or no?
It did.
Perfect. All right. So I'm going to continue with the one guard. I did the half to blend the one guard. Now I just want to do one slight detail job. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is no guard, lever closed. So it is not extended, guys. It's closed. I'm not going to go in with my trimmer to establish the bald line because it's harder. Even for me, like I've been cutting 25 years. I never put the trimmer first. And I definitely never press the bald line like that with the trimmer. The trimmer is the last part after you completed the fade. That's why I'm going to go in with just no lever, clipper closed, right? So right here, you do have to establish the guide and make it sharp. So I'm not gonna glide in this instance with the skin tight line. I'm gonna make sure I establish it correctly and sharply. Then I'm gonna open it all the way after it was closed. And after it's opened all the way, I'm gonna go down one level in the guard. And the awesome thing is try to find a clipper that you could hear where the lever locks in. So I just lowered this lever once, and now I'm gonna glide once again to fade out that skin tight line. Wake up, buddy. My buddy's falling asleep over here. This clipper and this haircut got him a little tired. So guys, as you can see, look how quickly we were able to do this skin tight fade on the side and how clean and beautiful it looks. I'm gonna bring the laptop in so you guys could see a little better once I edge it up. Beautiful. Okay, so now that I did the fade, I'm gonna grab the trimmer. Now I'm gonna use the trimmer. And again, I'm not gonna put the teeth into the hair. I'm gonna go upwards. Right here. And I'm gonna slightly pull the trimmer away right below where I remember putting the clipper guard, no guard completely closed to not make sure I eat into the length above it. All right, let's bring this laptop a little closer so you guys could see. Look at that fade, guys. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edge up his hairline as naturally as possible. Wake up, buddy. Wake up. Say hi to everybody on YouTube. They're looking at you. They're what? He's falling asleep, but it's okay. All right. So I'm just gonna edge up his hairline very naturally. Put your head up, Pop. Awesome. So now I'm just gonna go behind the ear, and I want to kind of round this out a little bit so these long hairs kind of flare out. I want to give it, you see how beautiful that's looking already? Oops, sorry. Move up. So now I'm just cleaning up and arching it and circling it a little bit more, just to give it that nice detail.
So Victor, we're really not able to see what you're doing.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. There
Perfect.
we go.
All right. So right now I'm just detailing behind the ear. I brushed the long hair out of the way. I just kind of want to clean and arch this really nicely.
Nice.
So now when you guys can see, when I pull this, you see how it's got that nice, look at that. Beautiful. Then when I put product in here, this will all look textured. All this will look a little more piecey. And we have that nice tapered mullet. All right, let's bring this back a little bit so I could execute the other side. Any questions on how I executed this side, guys?
Not at this time, but I will interrupt you if I do. And
Awesome. All right. So again, I like to finish one side and I memorize where I brought what guard to in terms of the places in the areas of the haircut. That's very important because you want both sides to look the same, right? You may see, and if it's easier for you to establish all these guides all over the head beforehand, do that too. Again, I've found so many different boosts per se, let's say like tricks that makes the system much easier for me. This is one of them. Like I already know where I need to put the guards. Make sure you always have a blueprint to every haircut. Like I already know every mullet, this is how I treat it. Every single one. Unless obviously it's longer on the sides and they want maybe a wolf cut. Then the whole haircut changes. But like tapers, I have a template in my head already. It may not fit everybody, but it fits almost everybody, depending on the parietal ridge and the occipital bone. Skin type fades, whether they're medium, high, or low. I know where I have to bring what guard to that corresponds to that particular height of the fade, right? So this is the whole thing, building a blueprint for every hairstyle. So that way when they sit and you know, and they're repeat clients, it's just slapping the guards on the clipper and executing and connecting everything together. So I'm going with a 3 since that's what I started with. And again, I'm not going to go past the parietal ridge. I'm going to stop right underneath. And I'm going straight up. You guys are seeing I'm not scooping. I'm going straight up. Scooping changes the shape of his haircut and the shape of his head. So once I've established this length, the next step is clipper over comb. All right, I might, can you guys see? Pop, wake up. There we go. So again, right now I'm looking at the 3 guard and I'm looking for the disconnection up top to make it flush. Same thing here. And I'm following the roundness of his forehead. Now I'm going to go to right above his ear. And then right here above his ear. Perfect. So now I'm going to grab the 1 guard, lever open, and I'm going to use this to glide into that 3 so I don't have to use the 2 or the 1.5 until later. That's the one I am going to use, the 1.5. So I'm going to start behind his ear and I'm going to look at the hair direction. His hair is pointing, it's growing backwards. So I got to make sure that my clipper is in this direction to eat at this hair. So again, I'm gliding, guys, into this 3. Not creating a hard line, okay? That's very essential. You don't want to create hard lines in the middle of the fading process because it will make it a lot harder. Now I'm going to go in, no guard, lever open, and I'm going to stop right around where the recession meets the arch. And again, I'm gliding, guys, as much as I can. All right. So now I'm going to grab the half guard, throw it on the clip. Have a sip of water, buddy. Good. So now I'm going to use the half guard, lever open, and I'm going to glide from that half guard into that one that I created earlier, and this should completely blend this area out. Beautiful. Any questions so far about the blending process that I've established?
Nope, we're good.
Beautiful. All right, now I'm going to grab the 1.5 guard. I'm going to smooth this dark area out real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the clipper no guard. To start putting in the skin tight line. Again, guys, this is all memory of where I placed each individual guide on the other side of his head. So I established the skin tight line, guys. Now I'm going to extend the lever all the way, 1 click down, and start blending that half guard into the no guard. Gonna grab the half guard because I see a little line over here. Beautiful. Almost done, just detailing one last line. Now I'm gonna grab the trimmer. I'm gonna grab the trimmer and I'm gonna make sure, guys, with anybody, if they're getting a skin tight fade, you want to make sure you grab the hair from the bottom of their cheeks, especially little kids, because they're gonna have this peach fuzz growing all around here, underneath the ear, all through the ear and above the ear. You want to clear all that for them. You want to make sure that they don't have that. This is part of their grooming. And once they get older, if that's not something they address, it's longer, darker hairs that they forget or just aren't accustomed to taking off and grooming themselves. And it also makes you stand out because a lot of barbers, they wouldn't go all the way down here. Matter of fact, when barbers are cleaning the bottom of the neck, they won't pull this shirt back to get the bottom part of the neck. I do that. I'm a hairy guy, and there's a lot of hairy guys. If there's hair creeping out of the t-shirt line, that's the barber's job. And if you didn't do that, that makes your client look crazy. They know that. If you take the extra little bit of time of bringing that t-shirt down, getting those extra hairs that are going to creep up over the t-shirt, that's going to be one of the reasons why they're going to love the experience with you behind the chair. Even the ear here, guys. I don't know if you do that, but if you don't, you know, you could do that. But this area is definitely your job as a barber, the neck and the ear area and behind the ear, especially behind the ear with the skin tight fade. So right now what I'm going to do is edge his hairline very naturally with the trimmer. All right, let's bring this in a little more so you guys can see the details of this fade. Look at that, guys. Look at that nice little taper. As you guys could see, there's a little line right there. So all I'm going to do is fade this out. Perfect. Now I'm going to do the same little detailing behind the ear. Can you guys see? Just to perfect and give him that nice little roundness. Can you guys see? Yeah. All right. Any questions so far, guys? We good? All right. So let's push this back. All right. So we finished the fade. Now we're going to disconnect. We're going to connect the top to the sides. Gonna throw in a little prep and prime tonic. To make sure that when I blow dry his hair, it's protected, it's also moisturized, and it's gonna be easy for me to cut because it acts as a leave-in conditioner. So this product actually helps you cut easier and maintain sections much better as well. So I'm gonna get one section, pull it out. I'm gonna leave this front part disconnected, not too much, but just enough. Just a couple of snips, not too much, because I did the clipper over comb. Earlier, I already established the side of his head. Beautiful. Just a slight disconnection in the front, because this is what happens. If I follow from his recession point on, if I follow the square silhouette around his head right here, what's going to happen is, like, let's say I keep going around like this. Now, wherever I cut his hair is going to end up, his hairline is going to end up right here. So you have to start pulling the front hair to a disconnection. That way he ends up with the length over his forehead, but still right here connected to the sides without a disconnection. Does that make sense, guys? Yes? Perfect.
It does make sense. Otherwise it'll look like Eddie Munster.
Yes, exactly. All right. So now I'm going to continue on this side, do the same thing. Leaving that slight disconnection in the front. Grabbing one more section. So here's the awesome thing about working with longer hair, guys, that once you establish the side and the parietal ridge area, the top is really just slight connections and then texturizing for movement or texture. One of the two. Perfect. So one of the things that I like to keep in mind when I'm going to go ahead and tackle the front, you always got to keep in mind that when the hair is wet, it's obviously going to fall a little longer. So you have to take into account at least to be safe, 1/4 of an inch of when it dries up of shrinkage, right? So keep that in mind. So if his hair right here is going to the middle of the tip of his nose, if I cut 1/4 of an inch, it's going to bring it up to like the bridge of his nose. And this means a lot. Like, even though it's very small measurements, and in our heads, it might not mean a lot to the kids. A centimeter too high is too much. And these kids will start crying in your chair. They'll start flipping out and it's over. You melted their world into ashes at that point. All right. So you have to be very careful with this hairline with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm not even going to use a razor. I'm going to use a feather razor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the hair out. And I'm going to do one slice inward, another slice opposite, just to break up the direction of where that hair wants to go. I'll start right in the middle, right at the edges. I'll do 1, 2, 3. And I'll do that same strand, 1, 2, 3. And then I'll continue. 1, 2, 3. Then I'll continue. 1, 2, 3, until I reach the end over here. 1, 2.
And are you doing like a 1-finger elevation or a 2-finger elevation there?
All the way, just straight down, because this is the thing. I'm not elevating anything because I want to make sure that the hair is going to land where not too high or not too low. If you elevate it, you're not going to be able to control where that hairline is going to be.
Got it.
Remember, this haircut is for him to have over his ears and versatile, whether they want to throw it to the side or they want to push it backwards. So there's no elevation. There's more texturizing and just leaving length. At the end, I'm just going to go through the middle and trim the triangle just so there's a square shape so it falls a little better as well.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So now I'm just going towards the end. Addressing that. Now I'm going to start right again in the middle. 1, 2, 3. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. Keep moving. 1, 2, 3. Keep moving. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So guys, again, it doesn't seem like much, but it is a lot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working in his crown, and I'm just going to thin out and add direction to the whole top of his head. So that way it's a little thinner, more manageable, and he'll have an easier time to throw product in it and style it.
So Victor, this razoring technique that you're showing all of us today, this is where you're talking about the versatility of this cut, right?
Yes.
They want to wear it back, if they want to wear it to the side, correct?
Right, because the thing is, like, when there's too much hair and we're creating certain shapes, when there's too much density, you have to use a thinning shear to break it up, give it the texture and give it the movement that it wants. He's Spanish, so his hair is super dense and each individual hair is super thick. So even if I texturize it a whole bunch, it'll still be thick and it'll still be kind of hard for him to style as well. So this is an awesome technique to use instead of thinning shears, because you're actually targeting areas and you're also leaving movement behind as you go with this.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Put your head down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work from the mid shaft to the tips. I work that section, bring that back. And look, this is the awesome thing about Prep and Prime Tonic. It's still wet and I'm able to section it and smush it down and it's out of the way. So now I'm going to do another section here. And again, working mid shaft to your fingers. And you see, not too much, but just enough for there to be movement and easy styling for him when he gets home. Mid shaft to the tips, slick it back. And I'm not going to go into his hairline. So I'm going to leave maybe an inch from his hairline to not destroy any density or create any holes around that area. Now I'm just going to slightly work the sides. And same thing, guys, mid shaft to the finger. All right, so now I just got to work this other panel, 3 sections in this panel, and we'll be all set. And then we'll go on to styling. So you guys, no matter how dense his hair is with the Prep and Prime Tonic, the sectioning is very sharp and easy to maintain and hold just because of that product. Again, it's heat protectant, leave-in conditioner, helps with the cutting and with the sectioning. So if you like to use blow dryers for finishing your hairstyles, guys, this is a must-have product to make sure you're giving your clients the best treatment for their hair and their scalp. All right, again, I'm going to leave an inch around the hairline and not touch that. Perfect. All right, so that was desectioning. Let me talk about what style we're going to do first. We're going to do 2 styles and use a couple of different products. The first style we're going to do is the Young Money. That's what I call it, because I love like that slick back, tight sides with a nice fade, nice modern fade, but that Young Money look with the slick back, very, very sleek, very, I don't know, it just looks fire to me. So what I'm going to use for this product, I initially put in Prep and Prime Tonic, and now out of all the products I'm going to have, I'm going to use a couple of different ones. So I'm going to use the Firm Hold Styling Gel. And this is awesome. You know why I picked this? Because a lot of people think you just grab the gel, throw it in the hair, and let it dry while it's wet. That's not the way you use gel. Gel, and why there's different holds, it's a foundational product for hold and for direction. So since I want to throw it back and I want it to hold and stay there, I'm going to use light hold, firm hold styling gel to make sure, and I'm using a generous amount, guys, okay? So now that it's damp, it's got the Prep and Prime Tonic in there as the first layer in his hair to protect from the heat. I'm going to apply the gel to the front part and to the sides of his head. Gonna grab our American Crew vented brush and the blow dryer. High heat, high speed. I'm gonna do the sides first. I'm gonna leave the front part last, but I'm gonna do the sides first. Blow dry it backwards because that's the direction that I want in his hair. In the back area, I'm gonna grab it and pull it out, right? Because I want this right here, this back part, to have a square shape back here and it lay flatter down here. Because you see how this is round? I want to make sure I get that. And that's why it's actually important to rub a little bit more firm hold gel into this area because I want a little more hold and have that shape really set in to this back part. So right now I'm just pulling his hair. Pulling his hair up, guys. Up and out to make sure I create this square shape back here. So as you guys could see, I got a little more of a square shape back there because of the hold that the gel gave me. Now I'm just gonna blow everything up after I got this square shape back here. So guys, a lot of blow dry work and knowing where to add volume. When you pull up the hair, you're adding volume. Look at that shape and volume, guys. This is what I'm talking about. The little volume here, the flatness, and then bam, that nice square shape. So as you can see, the gel doesn't look wet. It looks dry. And this is the way you should apply gel and instruct your customers to use at home when they purchase this product from you. All right, so we're done blow drying. We used prep and prime tonic. We use firm hold styling gel. And as you guys could see, you see the finish it left behind. Even though gel is a wet product, it left his hair still with a dry look, with the volume he needs, and still a lot of movability, right? That's a good thing that people didn't know with gel. Now, let's say he wanted a little more structure, a little more grit. After he used the gel, he could use our boost powder, which is an awesome product to add texture, to add volume on top of volume. You could use this as a layer after the gel, or you could use this just by itself, but you have to make sure that the hair is dry. If the hair is not dry, it's going to clump up and you're not going to get the effect that you want, right? So let's say he wanted a little more slight texture in the front and a little more boost. I'll just add it in his hair, and look at that, guys. Look how instantly it just fluffed out and gave volume, right? So now if he wants, he could throw it to the side and it'll hold really well, and it gives him like that nice textured look. Look at this. You see the separation in the front? Beautiful. He could throw it to this side if he really wanted to, right? If he wants to bring it forward and have more of a messy look, look at this. Super versatile. And then if he wants a little more volume in the back because it's too flat, guess what? Boost powder fixes it all. Now he's got the volume that he wants everywhere, and texture and movability, just by holding it there. Look at this, guys. All right. So that's what's dope about the boost powder. You get a lot of texture, you get a lot of movement. Now, he's got the boost, he's got the volume, he's got the shape, he's got the body, but he wants something a little more shiny looking. We have pomades, we have forming cream that gives a little bit of shine, but if you want extra shine, like let's say I want to give a lot of shine to him. Whip is good if you want to do a slight touch of shine, a little bit of hold, but it's not the shine I'm looking for. Fiber is more fibrous, more of a matte kind of finish. So it's going to be tacky to him, and he's not going to be able to really work his hair and get that high shine that he wants. But this is a good product for longer hair. Defining paste is awesome because it also is a light hold with a very natural shine. But this is more for like maybe finer hair that has some flyaways and you want to control a little bit more, maybe longer lengths. This is not what I'm looking for. I need something that's strong and that's going to hold it together. Pomade is awesome. It's got the shine, high shine, and it's got medium hold. I want high shine, high hold. So this can work, but I feel like if I put this in his hair, once he's in school, it's going to be all over the place real quick. So my best choice here is heavy hold pomade. It's got the max hold and high shine. This is perfect. This is what I'm looking for. Let's see how this looks on his hair. So what I would do is go into the puck. As you guys can see, it's clear. It looks black, but it is clear, and it smells bomb. This is one of the really good smelling pucks. You don't need too much, just a fingertip amount. Then now you're going to rub it throughout all his hair to get this shine and to get this young money slick look like Richie Rich from back in the day, guys. I don't know if you remember that movie. Richie Rich with the slick, shiny, slick back. So look, guys, we did heavy hold gel. Before the heavy hold gel, we did the prep and prime tonic to make sure we kept his hair safe from the heat. We added a little boost powder, and we just added some heavy hold pomade. You see the amount of versatility and things you could do to customize someone's gloss, finish, and hold in their hairstyle using multiple different American Crew products. I'm just gonna pull this a little bit out to the front to give him a little bit more of swag, a little bit more drip. Let's take a look at it a little closer. Can you guys see the shine? And look at this structure. Look at this modern mullet. Again, he's got this roundness behind the ear and his natural little curl right around the lobe of his ear. Same on this side. The Young Money look, guys. So there you go. Let me go over a couple of other American Crew products just so you guys understand. He doesn't have a beard, but let's say he did have a beard. He's going to have one in like 5 years, hopefully. But let's say he has one right now. The first thing I would recommend for him to shave at home would be the Ultra Shave Gliding Oil. It's very good. It's clear. And let's say he has a little tiny mustache that he wants to edge up in 5 years. Edge up in 5 years. He's going to want to throw this on so it doesn't get in the way of seeing the precision that he needs. Sometimes there's some shaved foams that are white. It won't let you see. The beauty about this is it's oil, so it's transparent. You can be very precise with edging yourself at home. Also, the beard serum is awesome for the beards because just like the hair, our skin underneath our beard also gets dry. So you need to hydrate it. You want to put beard serum in a couple of times a day, especially if you're in colder areas, colder atmospheres where our face is in the elements all the time. Or if he works outside, landscapers, construction workers, it's very important for there to be grooming in totality for everything. Hair, body, skin, and beard. We need all that. Guys need those four. These are the only, being in the barber chair is the only time someone is going to tell us about our grooming. This is the opportunity to tell them, hey, bro, why this is great for you because these are natural products. They smell good. They're going to hydrate your skin. Your beard is going to look much healthier, just like your hair if you use the shampoo and conditioner I sent you. And the good thing, all the scents work together to make sure they complement each other when they're on your hair, beard, or skin. We also have, for dry skin, dry areas, guys who like to take care of their skin. Right now, my wife and I just started, she's been using skin treatments. I'm 37. I'm starting to notice a little wrinkling and crow's eyes around my eyes, and it's starting to alarm me. So I started finding and looking for skincare regimens that's going to help it against my anti-aging and keeping my skin looking good, glowing, and healthy. The all-in-one face balm broad spectrum SPF 15 sunscreen. Not only does it hydrate your skin, it also protects against the sun. And it has anti-aging ingredients that help us to maintain ourselves looking youthful. The 2-in-1 skin and beard conditioner is great because it's something that you could apply on your beard and on your skin at the same time. For shaving, we also have precision shave gel and post-shave cooling lotion. So the gel is also transparent. The lotion has a little white tint. So just in case they don't like the oil, there's gels and there's lotion. So there's options. Again, the dope thing about American Crew is there's options for everything. You got curly hair. There's a product for curly hair. There's a couple of products for curly hair. We have light hold texture lotion. This is awesome for curly hair, keeping it hydrated and keeping it bouncy. Not too much shine, which is beautiful, so it gives it a natural look. The Prep and Prime Tonic is also an awesome curly hair product. Very light. It's like a mist, and it refreshes, and it smells refreshing too because it has like a minty scent to it. So very good for curly hair. Forming cream is also very bomb for wavy hair. You could use it for curly hair, but you're going to use a lot of it. So you got to be careful where you're using this. This is good for wavy hair to enhance the wave and kind of form it a little bit more. Then we have our matte clay, which is awesome. This is one of clients' favorites, customers' favorites right here, the matte clay. And it's awesome too because it comes in a matte clay spray in case you want to disperse it a little better and you don't want to target certain areas. The same thing with our foam. We have fiber foam, which is also great for curls, but you got to put it in real quick because if you put it in section by section, it's going to dry up real fast. And then the curl is going to stay how it is. We have the foam and we also have the fiber cream. The fiber cream, fire. This is awesome for straight hair. It's a medium to high hold and it gives like a matte effect. Very awesome, fibrous, great for long hair right here. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. We have a full line of different shampoos and reasons to use these shampoos depending on the season. Again, if you're in summer, you don't need a detox shampoo like this one right here. Let me show you our detox shampoo, which is like a clarifying shampoo, but it's way more special. It's got coconut shell beads inside with Manicouagan clay, and Manicouagan clay is a clay that's mined out of a lake in Canada that got hit by a meteor and was infused, that lake was infused with a whole bunch of minerals that came from that meteorite. So everything is supernatural. They went above and beyond to mine this Manicouagan clay and make this special for our customers. So that's an awesome detox shampoo. Our daily moisturizing shampoo is very great. Again, you guys are, some people are in cold weather. I'm in cold weather. This is an awesome shampoo to use and advise your clients to use because it's going to moisturize their hair and their scalp, even though we're in a very dry season. If they want a 3-in-1 that's shampoo, conditioner, and all body, we have the chamomile and tea, ginger and tea, and we have the tea tree. And these are awesome. They smell good, very refreshing, very great to wake up to. And it's very, let's say, therapeutic in the wash bowl, guys. All right. You want your guys enjoying the experience, the only grooming experience a guy has throughout his life, which is visiting the barbershop. So that's the rundown, guys, on all the American Crew products, how you guys could use them and apply them at Great Clips for your customers to make sure you reach, I know there's incentives for you guys to do better and get better. And I hope this has helped you guys a little bit more in retail skills, in styling, and in barbering so you can execute high-level haircuts and keep growing in this barber industry that's so dope while using American Crew that is the leading brand for men's grooming. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you viewing, and I hope you took a lot of information with you guys back home and back to Great Clips. Thank you guys.